Well, welcome to my channel, Mispronounced Adventures. My name's Alex, and welcome to Arctic Season Round 4. Which is going to be That could have gone better. I'm in a ditch. And currently deep in the Arctic Circle. Last time we drove to the border between Sweden and Finland to search for a cold spell coming in overnight with our friends Fraser and Tracy from Unlikely Explorers.
Minus 28, coldest on the trip so far.
And we're picking up the following morning.
Right, good morning. Didn't get as cold as I wanted last night, but minus 20. I think we probably drove a little bit further forwards and out of the main cold patch. Some other bits of Finland, which were a couple hours from here, got to minus 38.9 according to some of the sensors, so didn't miss out on minus 40 last night by being in the wrong spot. Anyway, the van is in complete ice encrusted mode. You can see all the metalwork freezes. Let's have a look to see what my coolant temperature is. Minus 19 coolant temperature, minus 20 oil, which is fine. So we'll just chuck on the engine preheater, let that do its thing, and hopefully come back in half an hour and start the engine. Hazard. No hazard, apparently. Right, engine is mostly preheated. What are we on? Well, you want to wake up for me? 51 degrees, that'll do for a start. That was a little bit of frozen fuel there. Right, minus 20, and we'll let it do its thing. Oh, it's too cold for my Quattro. Working out, no surprise, this has got a lithium battery in it, and lithium batteries have a minimum discharge temperature of a normal star lithium cell of minus 20, and it was minus 20 last night, or below. So a little bit of time for the heater, and it's all clear. Delta's done the handbrake off. Yes.
Turn left onto Tromsø.
Right, good morning. So we are leaving Fraser and Tracy for a little while. We're heading back to Tromsø. My tyres are currently in, and that's about 3 hours drive from here.
For reference, this winter's been exceptionally mild, which means the roads have been very slippy, so I bought myself a set of studded Nordic winter tyres, so I didn't have a repeat of this earlier the winter.
That's not ideal. So I can go get some tyres, which is good, and a bit of a change of plan for Joe.
I think a
bit of a change of plan for Joe is changing a flight or getting a new flight, and she can stay out another
6 days. Originally I was going back on the 7th, but now I'm thinking of going back on the 13th, so it gives us longer to decide what we want to do with our time, rather than trying to pack it all into a short time frame.
Yeah, so that leaves up some more time for exploring. We were getting a bit kind of figuring out how we're going to fit it in with a bit of warm weather coming in, what we could do. So back to Tromsø, hopefully see if fingers crossed, if changing flights can work out. But first we're going to have a couple hours drive through Finland, minus 15 of this, but I think it's probably about minus 20.
So we carried on to the border at the point where Sweden, Finland and Norway all meet at Kivisabi, and popped inside for lunch, where I again got to see one of these cool AirX diesel heaters, which is an infrared diesel heater with no external exhaust. And then I got back to the van to find there's an issue with my diesel heater.
Well, that's not ideal. Right, well, I've just got the heater plug apart and a little bit of corrosion on the pins, which I think is because this water pump leaked a little while ago. That's not ideal, but hopefully clean those pins back together and it'll be fine. Well, it flashed up and then it turned off again. Is it going to boot? There we go, it's booted. It was saying no heater, which makes me think it was a communications pin, because if it was a power pin then there'd be no power to the unit, so must be an issue one of the communications pins slightly corroded. Right, approaching the Norwegian border from Finland, and then there's only a couple hours more onto Tromsø. I don't think I've ever done this border in the light. I see no vehicle lights following me. I think we've made it through this time. Quite a few drifts in the road in this section. It's going to be a lot of rain here. I'll get ready to film it. Yes, I'm sure they'll wait for you. I know you are determined to go for it. Go for it then, come on. Thank you.
Cool.
There are quite a lot of snowdrifts which are a bit harder to see. Yep, thank you mate. That was on camera. You good? Baby, wait, deal by himself. Reindeer should get studded tyres. Right, off to go see a snowy waterfall. I don't know its name, but here it is on the map. Ooh. I'm so glad these safety barriers are so high and not a trip hazard. Well, there's the safety railing. There's the waterfall. So don't run into me, that's the railing. Very nice.
And nothing too eventful happened on the rest of the drive to Tromsø. Once again, checked myself into Tromsø camping just because it's nearby and convenient. I've been there so many times on this trip, I think I deserve a season pass. And we'll pick this up tomorrow morning.
Well, good morning everybody. We made it to Tromsø last night and now I'm about to drive into Tromsø because it's tyre fitting day. So, albeit, well, I called them yesterday, they said my tyres are in. So we're going to pop over there and get my studded tyres put on today, and then they're going to hopefully hold the current KO2s for a little while. Well, hopefully they can put them on today. They did say cool in the morning when they open, which is 8 o'clock. So I thought I would just turn up at 8 o'clock and do. But it's needed because it's plus 2 degrees today. Yesterday it was minus 29. No, yesterday was minus about 20, and then the day before it was minus 29 driving to the spot. But we'll get into now it's plus 2, and once again it is slippy, slippy, slippy. So hopefully with some these studded winter tyres on, I just need to go find Jo. I was checking her camping because it's just convenient to stay here, but I'm not entirely sure where she's gone. I'm sure she'll turn up. We're off, we have a Jo. Right, to the tyre place. Right, we have reached Vianor. Jo, how do I pronounce this?
I think it's Vino.
Vianor.
I think we'll go with that.
Not Venator,
Snow tea.
which is my favourite spaceship from Star Wars. Right, let's go in and see when they can get my tyres put on today. Wish me luck. Well, that's worked out well. Drive in immediately.
Hazard.
So as a reminder, I'm going for a set of these. Not sure if they can find my tyres at the minute. Certainly got a few tyres. So I've gone for 225 75 16 with 1512 Q load rating, which is the exact same as my KO2s, which again are 225 75 16 1512 S. S and Q are slightly different for maximum speeds. I still think Q's like a maximum of 160 kilometers an hour, which I don't intend to be going in my van, especially on snow and ice. that was perfectly balanced with no weights. So in some of my earlier videos, people mentioned there was a rumbling on the drive up north. And that is a tracking issue. So these are my rear wheel ones, nice lug. You can see on my front ones, uneven wear pattern on those lugs, and that's because the tracking's slightly out, so I'm gonna go get it fixed. Yes, he has the new tyres, let's get out of here. Right, back at bestdrive.no, which is the original place which wouldn't install the tyres because they couldn't do it because there wasn't enough tread. But apparently they can do wheel alignment on my sized van. So we're going to go pop in there and see if they can do it. Wish me luck on this one as well. Well, booked in for alignment, but they're going to book me in till about, what day is it today? 9 days time, which is not ideal. But that's the day after I've got to be back here anyway to drop Joe off at the airport. So at least I'm in the right spot. I assume 2 weeks of, 9 days of driving around shouldn't do too much damage to the misalignment. The last set of tyres had been on for the last 40,000 miles and it's worn them, so it should be alright for probably less than 1,000 miles worth of driving. But it is the Sami Festival today, or this week actually, in Tromsø, so we're going to go find that and have a look around.
Unfortunately, we could find almost no evidence of the Sami Festival in Tromsø. We even went into the tourism office and asked them, and they didn't know what we were talking about. Yet we found the planners for it online.
Just wandering around Tromsø, and I've just been speaking to Paul from Autoturf, who I've been helping out with bits and bobs for the van, his van, and I've just seen it. So we're gonna go over and say hello. Yeah, pretty sure it's the Autoturf van, and it looks like Paul's home as well. Hello. We're going to catch up with them in a few days. Finally got to meet them in person. I've now got a project of a Starlink Gen 3, a broken one to play with, figure out why. We're going to find them in the interior of Finland in a few days. Well, pleasure to finally meet you guys, and we'll have a look at this vehicle properly in a few days' time. And I've got a Starlink to play with and figure out why it's not working. But if I get it to work, it's mine. I like this boat, and then just added sauna on the back. That's one hell of a Northern Lights experience. Sauna and jacuzzi. So you can be through the Northern Lights, in the fjords or at sea, in a sauna or a jacuzzi on deck. I don't think they need rescuing. This footage has no context with the rest of this video, but baked potatoes in the supermarket.
Maybe smile.
And we continued our drive back towards Finland. And en route, Joe wanted to try out a bit of swinging.
Joe wanted to go see this swing.
And for some reason, my dash cam's convinced she's a hazard.
But it's dark, so I've parked across this lay-by. There's a hazard.
Hazard.
Yeah, the hazard is she's going to fall off.
Hazard. 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 Hazard.
Right. You can see her on the swing on the thermal camera. And there's a view there, apparently.
Hazard. 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 Hazard.
Who needs visible light when you've got the infrared spectrum?
Hazard. 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 Hazard.
I can't get it to hazard, you can stop it.
Hazard. Hazard.
It's identified her as a dot. I'm blinding her. Look, I'm a good person here, I'll turn the lights off. Should have got a winch for the van. Is she going to make it? Is she going to make it?
Hazard. Hazard.
And after the hazard made it back to the van, we carried on our drive to Finland until we saw another hazard.
Moose! Matt, I'm impressed at how well my inside tyres works.
Did you see it? Did you alright on your phone?
No, I saw it on the camera.
Ah,
Hang on, is that towing? That's towing.
oh wow. That's
A trailer. That's
And that thing's smashing
with
the
snow
trees.
chains on. Right, we are approaching the Finnish border. One we were at 2 days ago. Dropped down to -7 and almost top of this pass. Finland.
Hazard.
I presume that was a wave hello and not a stop hello. Yeah, it looked more like a hand greeting hello opposed
They
to
would
a...
have made the red light go on, maybe.
Are you alright? Are you sorted for a tow?
Need a hand?
Any help? Okay.
And a van.
And we just now carried on to find somewhere to park up for the night, which Joe had found the park for night.
So this is basically a car park. Yeah. And there's a bridge there. That's Sweden. In the middle of that bridge.
That parked up. Unsurprisingly, Joe's park up has a bridge in it. Who would have thought? A bridge to Sweden. So, testing the broken Starlink, which Paul gave me. Plugged into my power station, currently pulling 8 watts. So the router's working, the power supply's working. I guess I'll just plug the dish in and see if we get any results. Right, dish is plugged in and just sat on my dashboard, pointing out the window. I'm pulling 103 watts, so it's clearly doing something. Let's try out the app. Right, well, Starlink appears to be working. It's currently set out the front of the van over there. I've got it logged in, found it on the app, and at the minute it's just held by another account. So it appears to be working. There's a few bits of movement and stuff. I don't understand a lot of this, but it's downloaded some updates, and it just appears that I need them to release this Starlink from their account, and it's open, and then I could connect it to mine if I wanted. Although I do have my own Starlink Mini, which is getting installed in this season anyway. But let's go actually grab it before the Northern Lights people run it over, which is lying in the snow over there. Joey's in a little nest. Turns out a nice quiet spot is now surrounded on all sides by Northern Light hunters. So all the Northern Lights buses are currently out, surrounded by people. There's people having wheeze over there. I kind of want to put my main beams on and blind them with the light of 2 suns. They're everywhere. So when we turned up to this car park, it was completely empty. Now it's about 7 big minibuses and about 5 cars everywhere. Although I should not been surprised this was a Northern Lights Hunters car park. I mean, it's got. If we get some visibility, we'll get some great shots. Well, good job I don't want to leave, because I wouldn't be going anywhere because I'm boxed in. But also that is border of Sweden there, about 7 metres in front of the van. The Northern Lights are extremely faint, that you can't even see them with the naked eye at the minute. They do appear a little bit in photos. That's probably why most of these Northern Lights groups all have fires and stuff going, because from an activity point of view, you kind of want the lights, but you can't make them happen if they're not. So have a fire going, and I'm sure they do a bit of an educational bit as well, all about the Northern Lights. So when we were in Sweden, we were told by some of the people we met that if they do educational bits in the Northern Lights tour to teach about the Northern Lights from a scientific point of view, the tax is cheaper or something on it, or they have to pay less tax because it's educational. I don't know the exact way that works, but apparently they go on a lot about the science of the Northern Lights because it makes their tax bill cheaper if it's educational. I don't know if these people realise that's actually my van and not a thingy van. Yeti. I was just back next to my van, and someone started chatting to me in the dark, said this is just stupid. All these vehicles here, who assumed I was one of the guides, and he was a guide himself. He said they should all be parking reasonably, not all over the place, which is quite funny. This aurora just started to peer in and out as they were leaving, and now everyone's come back out. Guys, follow me! Getting caught in pinches. Yeah.
In Sami beliefs, the Northern Lights are something to be respected, so making noise underneath them is once thought to bring misfortune. So probably worth appreciating them in silence. Well, I'm currently in the middle of the river, so I'm literally straddling the border of Finland and Sweden, photographing the Northern Lights on that bridge. I think Joe's crossed into Sweden. I'm in Finland. She's a country away, and it's still pretty good. Most of those Northern Light hunters were about to go home and all packed up in the buses, and then it started out going pretty well. Oh wow. Oh, it's getting really good there. Wow. So impressed that the iPhone could record this. Well, I'm just running a time lapse of the Northern Lights at the minute, so let's see how it comes out. And that's pretty much going to be the end of the episode here, and I hope you enjoyed what you've seen. If you're new here, consider subscribing and checking out the rest of Arctic Season Round 4 or the other Arctic Seasons. Other things you can do is look in the links in the description below. One of them is I work for Roma, which is a UK lithium battery company, and I do their customer consultations and system designs for designing electrical systems for camper vans like this. That's a bookable service. I also use their batteries in this van as well. I'm also a brand ambassador for Autoterm, and I've looked at their diesel air heaters and water heaters. But there's a bunch of other links in there as well, like Amazon, but really, I just want to make content for you guys to enjoy. So, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.